What up, what up, what up? What's good, what's good? It's your boy DJ7. Welcome back to another video. Today we got another video from Auburn Preach. This is from when, this is a response to Officer Tatum's response to their video. And, yeah, man, if you don't know who, well, everybody should know who Officer Tatum is, but if you don't, he's one of those guys who talk a certain way, but then do something else, or do what he say he would never do. And what this video is gonna be about, Auburn Preacher's response to that. Officer Tatum pretty much went on the internet. He saw what Auburn Preach said about him crying online, but them calling him out about saying that he wouldn't cry for his father, he wouldn't cry for his children, but he cried for Charlie Kirk. He cried online. Like, he wouldn't cry. He said he wouldn't cry in front of his wife. He wouldn't cry for his father. He wouldn't cry for his kids. But you cry for Charlie Kirk. And his response was, Charlie Kirk was his friend. They never said it wasn't okay for you to cry for your friends, dude. But here's Auburn Preacher's response to that. And yeah, man, let's just see what they got to say, because I know what I'm thinking. I've seen the videos. I've seen what Auburn Preach had to say, and I've seen what Officer Tatum had to say. I didn't do a reaction video to neither one, for the simple fact that, you know what? Let's rewind it. We're gonna respond to all three videos.
I saw this clip going viral, and it did make me chuckle. It involves Officer Tatum and his opinions on men crying. Let me make sure I know exact. 2 years ago, about men crying, he said some interesting things. So why don't we just take a look at that together?
I think that men should not show all of their emotions to women, because women judge men very harshly on that. I would never cry in front of my wife.
Really?
I just wouldn't.
What if your kid died?
That's a different thing. I mean, I would try not to cry in front of my wife if my kid died. I'm her foundation. I'm her strong point. I'll cry on my own, but if everything is going south, I want my wife to know I'm strong in that situation. I heard a guy say this, is that when my father passes away, which everybody's parent is gonna pass away, I'm not gonna cry at his funeral. I don't want to cry in his funeral. I want my father to know that I'm strong enough to stand up and have this conversation. I've compartmentalized what has happened.
I'm very angry because you don't get your lick back.
And see right here, like, you guys will say that Preach is and Iowa are very like, they don't care. They just making fun of him. But no, they're not laughing at the fact that he's crying about somebody passing. They're laughing at the fact that this man sounds like a hypocrite. Extreme hypocrite.
This is a sickness of the highest order.
For me, you suffer. I think you suffer in silence. That's what I think.
I thought it was meme music at first. I didn't realize this was put up by the Daily Derek. I know what that is, but.
You say you had men cry in front of you. That's why you're not with them.
Sometimes I look up videos of like army dads coming home and surprising their kids just because I want to cry, and then I'll watch it and I'll cry. And
I've teared up and cried over stuff like that, but I
not in front of those videos are really
I don't do
good.
that in front of people. Just imagine you going to war, you got the guy on the front line and he crying.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, wait a minute, dude. We gonna lose this? Or you like my dude? We would do SWAT hits, and some of the dudes, they were tough. They were hard around the edge, man. And you don't see them sweat. And it gives everybody encouragement to be like, man, that's the baddest mother. Then that means I need to be bad.
Yeah, it's giving good. Why is that? More what? Why is that? What? Why Charlie Kirk is my why is that? What? I gotta be a why is that?
Checkmate, motherfucker.
You know what the thing is?
Yeah, talk to me.
I don't mind that he cries for Kirk. That's not what a problem is. Like, you don't feel safe crying in front of your wife. That's probably the only person I feel safe crying about. That's fine. If you don't, that's okay.
I'm like, preach, man. The person I most feel comfortable crying in front of, that I would cry in front of comfortably, without hindrance, without unchained emotions, is my girl. I would cry in front of her. I have cried in front of her on many occasions. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing. Don't make you less of a man for crying in front of your girl or your wife at all.
Your dad would die, and then you're like, nah, not even he needs to know. he needs to know that I'm strong.
Hey, listen, some of you brothers are not.
Well, Kirk is saying that you a bitch from heaven.
Hey, listen.
By that logic, that's crazy.
Some of you brothers are not beating the Zaddy Kirk allegations.
Why Charlie Kirk is my white zaddy? Why you gotta be a white zaddy?
I understand what he was saying in the first clip, where, in this traditional sense, some men feel like they can't afford to be emotional in dark times because the people who lean on them will feel destabilized. Like, I've heard that narrative before, and it's not entirely without merit.
You say you had men cry in front of you. That's why you're not with him.
Any woman who would judge you because you cried at your father's funeral is probably not someone you want to be married to. Any woman who would judge you negatively because you cried at your child's funeral, which was his first example, probably not someone you want to be with.
Now, guys, you see that I've been preached. You hear what they said. You know what I'm saying? They're not laughing at the fact that he's crying over somebody passing. They're laughing at his reasoning for not crying in front of his spouse, or about his children passing, or about his parents passing. Like, come on, bro. Like, make that make sense. But wait. Here's what Officer Tatum had to say.
To try to make a point to bash a person who had an emotional response to his friend getting assassinated in front of the world.
No, that's not why they came at you, bro. Sorry, that's not why they came at you. It's not the reason. Even Priest said it. Priest said, I don't see nothing wrong with him crying for Kirk. I don't see nothing wrong with that. That's not what a problem lies at. And it's like, bro, you trying to take this and you trying to make them out to be something they not. That's not what they said it. That's not what a problem lies at. That's not where the problem is. Sorry, but it's not.
I wasn't just a follower of Charlie. He was a friend of mine. I just seen him not too long before he got killed. Just did an event. We just talked backstage at an event, which I have done Turning Point events since 2018 every year. And to try to make fun of somebody for that is the lowest that you can go. Like, subscribe to the channel.
Again, that's not why they made fun of you. Not why they made fun of you at all, bro. I don't know who has to drill this into your head. I don't know if you had to spend the night in the jail cell yourself. But this is not the reason they made fun of you. Go back and watch the video again, bro. It's not the reason.
Hit the bell to get notifications. Anytime I go live and make a video, make sure you still subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Let's get into this. I have lost all respect for I've Been Preach after this video.
His feelings are hurt. They hurt his feelings. That's what it is. You lost respect because they hurt your feelings. Yeah.
You know, it's fair game to criticize people. It's fair game. We're internet people. I'm not going to sue nobody over fair criticisms. But to take a video from 2 years ago to somehow leverage that to make fun of me for crying, tearing up when Charlie Kirk was murdered is insane to me.
Bruh. Again, he's using this about Charlie Kirk's unfortunate demise. Bro, this is not the reason They said it. I don't know how many times I'm finna say it. It's not the reason that you know. It was the fact that you said out your mouth, I wouldn't cry in front of my wife. But you cried on the internet in front of strangers, people who really don't know you, people who really don't know anything about you personally, other than what you probably shared with them, which has become public in itself. People who don't know you behind the camera. You cried in front of them when you said you wouldn't even cry in front of your wife. When you said that you would try not to cry in front of your wife at your kid's funeral. That's what you said, bro. That's what they're getting on you about. You know, people like him and Stevie, they don't listen, bro. They don't listen. Like, y'all taking everything, what they said, y'all twisting it. It's crazy.
If I lost followers or something, or something, somebody gave a bad review on my store and I cried about it, I can see somebody trying to leverage that to make fun of me. That's fine. It's fair game. But for you to be so disgusting, to try to make a point, which my original point wasn't even nothing that they're referring to.
It was exactly what they were referring to. Exactly. Come on, bro. Ain't nobody stupid. Who you think is stupid? Who you thinking that stupid, bro? To sit here and say, hey, I won't cry in front of my wife. But let me go over here and cry in front of people I don't know. And if somebody call you out about what you did, hey, bro, you just said you wouldn't cry in front of your wife, but you over here crying in front of these strangers. What kind of shit is that? You get mad. You get mad. Come on, bro. That shit's stupid. It's stupid and you know it's stupid.
But to try to make a point to bash a person who had an emotional response to his friend getting assassinated in front of the world.
They're not bashing you about that. That's not what they're bashing you about. Everybody who has done a review on you on this video right here already has said the same thing I'm saying now. That's not why they said anything about it. Whether it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, it don't make no sense. It don't make no difference, bro. You said out your mouth, I will not cry in front of my wife. I think that's something that should be done privately. You said that. And what you do, you go cry publicly in front of millions, 4 million, over 4 million people to be exact, watching your live stream. You cry in front of them. Bro, a fucking lizard can see that what you did was stupid. What you're saying is stupid. And anybody with common sense, bro, can tell that this video, man, it's stupid. You making this video proves nothing. You saying what you're saying proves nothing. You still did it. You still cried in front of people. Nobody's coming at you about you crying about Charlie Kirk passing. Nobody's coming at you about that. Nobody said anything about that. What they're saying is, you cried in front of millions of people, but you said you wouldn't cry in front of your wife. You said you wouldn't cry in front of your wife about your children passing. Or at least try not to. And like they said in their video, if you can't cry about your father passing and you can't cry about your kids passing, you think the woman's going to come at you wrong or say something about you or come at you crazy about that, then you don't need to be with her. They said this, man, in their video. And y'all who watched it with me, y'all just seen it too. So what this man talking about, I have no clue. None whatsoever. No clue whatsoever, man. I don't know what this man talking about. Let's listen to a little more.
I wasn't just a follower of Charlie. He was a friend of mine.
Okay.
I just seen him not too long before he got killed.
Yeah.
Just did an event. We just talked backstage at an event, which I have done Turning Point events since 2018.
Everything he's saying right now is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. You're here trying to defend on how you and Charlie Kirk were close friends. Okay, y'all were close friends. That's fine. Nobody's coming at you about you crying about your friends passing. I have friends who pass away who life will cut short also. I cried. Nobody said you can't cry. But the fact that you said that you wouldn't even cry at your father's funeral, the man who raised you, I could see if that man didn't raise you, left you and your mom when you was a kid and whatever. I could see that. You pretty much there for a stranger, but you don't know how to respond. I could see that. But if he a man who raised you, who was there your whole life, who showed you how to do things that you know that you take with you now, and you cry, and she say something like, "Why you crying, bro? You don't need to be with her." And that's what preaching I was saying, bro. I've been preaching. That's what they were saying. Like you crying for a man that you call friend publicly, but you wouldn't cry for your father publicly. I don't even know if he said that he wouldn't do it. I think he said a man, he heard somebody say it. But if he said that he wouldn't do it, then okay, that's messed up. But he said he wouldn't even try to cry his kids for him. Man, you got me crazy, man. My kids passed, but I promise you, I'm water working it. Like, there might be a lake. Because those are mine, man. Those are my seeds, my babies, man. I'm crying. And everybody will know why I'm crying. I'm going to admit, I cry.
Every year.
Man, let's do that.
I have done events with Charlie. I've done events for Charlie. I've worked with Turning Point and been at their headquarters. I used to work with Turning Point directly, meaning that I used to work for them as the urban engagement director. We went to the White House together.
Irrelevant.
I mean, they just acquired Blexit, which I'm a co-founder of.
Irrelevant.
Like, and you see your friend get murdered on television with blood gushing out his neck, and you know I was at his wedding.
Irrelevant.
I know his wife.
Irrelevant.
I could imagine what that does to his kids. And
I'm pretty sure it's devastating to his children, but that's not what they was talking about. So that in itself already is irrelevant too.
Try to make fun of somebody for that is the lowest that you can go. This video.
They wasn't making fun of you for that. Everything he said was irrelevant. Irrelevant. Everything he was saying about why, like him and Charlie Kirk, how close of friends they were, them working together, the things they done together, the family, the wedding, all that. Okay, that's fine. Nobody's discrediting that, bro. But what we're saying is that's irrelevant to what was discussed. That's irrelevant to what Alvin Priest was talking about. It does not even compute into what they was talking about. You're trying to make it that. No. You can't make it that, bro. You gotta. No. Just no. Like, I don't talk politics, so you rarely gonna hear me talk about Charlie Kirk unless his name come up. I don't like talking about politics that much. I just did a video on Kennedy, which he's like, bro, he's funny. And I don't agree with nothing he says because most of the things he says are insults, but he's funny. He's a funny guy. He says the wildest stuff. But that's about all. The farthest I'm gonna go into politics is like the dumb shit that people say. That's about the farthest I'm going into politics. Stupidity. Because it's not something that I really truly care about. Politics affect me, yes, they do. They affect everybody. But I just don't like talking about them. I'll vote, do what I do. But me discussing it with somebody it's not gonna help me. It's not gonna help you. I mean, it'll help far as we know what we're getting ourselves into. But to me, and I might be wrong, but to me, and I might get called out for it, but to me, talking about politics is, like I said, talking about religion, man. It's, you open up a whole bunch of cuts and bruises just need to be trying to heal in the first place. Man, let's go back to Auburn Preach and let's see what they had to say about Officer Tatum's response.
Officer Tatum decided to do a response video sponsored by Israel and AIPAC. And
You know, it's fair game to criticize people. It's fair game. We're internet people. I'm not gonna sue nobody over fair criticisms.
for context, in case you aren't aware, we did a video in which we talked about Officer Tatum. There was a viral video going around of him turned on his live stream, say you would never cry, but then you're on stream crying for the whole world, right? He didn't like that. He was quite upset that we was laughing at that.
But to take a video from 2 years ago, to somehow leverage that to make fun of me for crying, tearing up when Charlie Kirk was murdered is insane to me.
That you're missing the point. The point was not, we're not laughing at you because you're the person that you admired died. We laughed at you because of the irony of, okay, you wouldn't cry in front of someone close to you because someone else close to you would die. But someone that is remote, you're going to cry in front of the whole world. That's the thing that is laughable.
But for you to be so disgusting and you see your friend get murdered on television, I could imagine what that does to his kids. And to try to make fun of somebody for that is the lowest that you can go. This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com, ladies and gentlemen, Black Friday is here. 30% off, up to 60% off.
What the hell did I just notice? What happened? What happened? What kind of jump cut was that?
It's not a jump cut.
It is.
It's not a jump cut. I can play the original video. Watch how he goes from like, how dare you? By the way, why don't you buy these shirts so you can move in style?
But for you to be so disgusting, and you know, I was at his wedding. I know his wife. I could imagine what that does to his kids. And to try to make fun of somebody for that is the lowest that you can go. This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com, ladies and gentlemen, Black Friday is here. 30% off, up to 60% off on the entire store. And that means every single product. This section here is for 60% off.
Now, did I edit that shit? Is that me?
We just saw it. Nah, that was all Officer Tatum right there, bro. The plug, it was insane. This man plugged this shit in real quick.
Bro, what you want me to do? It wasn't me.
This is triggering for him, and I get that. So
that's why he was so triggered. He had to do a merch sale. When I'm triggered, that's what I do too. I'm mourning that my nigga buy my sweatpants so you could stay warm in these cold times.
Don't forget to buy these shirts. Don't forget to buy these shirts. We got the merch. Buy these shirts.
Let me make sure I know exactly. 2 years ago about men crying.
They're taking a clip from something I said 2 years ago.
Okay, and why is he saying 2 years ago, right? He's, why would you use something from 2 years ago? All right, he's trying to hint that there's something wrong with doing that.
They're taking a clip from something I said 2 years ago, and which is not 2 years ago. I believe the same thing today, but
so who cares? So who cares if it was 2 years ago, 5 minutes ago, 5 years ago? If you still believe the same thing, that means that video is still relevant today. So it doesn't matter. We did take it 2 years ago. It doesn't matter.
To appreciate like the fake outrage. 2 years ago. Why would you use a clip from 2 years ago? I still think that today. Then shut the fuck up.
What did he say?
Like, why are you acting like you ain't used older clips to make a point against somebody politically? And if you still, and I'm the retard, because I remember when we did the other video, I said, to be fair to him, this video was from 2 years ago. Maybe he changed his opinion. And his dumb ass, no, I didn't change my opinion. I still think this, but how could you use it?
Weak men are viewed as unattractive. You can make the argument that crying can be viewed as a weakness.
Bro, I would say them just, stupidity at its best, bro.
Listen to what he said. That crying could be That's what he said.
Nobody even talking about what he said, bro. They talking about what you said. You, Officer Tatum. They said what you said, bro. You talking about what this man said. No, I'm talking about what you said, bro. You.
That crying could be a weakness.
Yeah, what? So,
you know,
you said you never, ever, you went outcast on us. Ever.
Just watch how cowardly he's gonna be. He just doesn't want to own what he's saying.
You said you had men crying in front of you. That's why you're not with him.
Sometimes I look up videos of like army dads coming.
So you heard that? He said to the woman, "Oh, you saw a man crying in front of you. That's not why you're not with them," implying that something is wrong with men crying, and that's why a woman wouldn't want to be with them. Keep watching.
Because women judge men very harshly on that. I would never cry in front of my wife.
You see him say "could" there, and he would say he would never, and he says women judge men for that.
But I admired the guy that said the reasons why he wouldn't cry, because he needs to be strong for his father. And every man, in my personal opinion, would want to have that perspective.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Nah, G, I cried my pop. I cried my pop's past, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I did. I'm not sorry. I cried with my pop's past, bro. That was my pops, man. That was the man who raised me. I learned a lot from that dude. So why the hell would I not cry? Like, he was my closest friend. Like, why the hell would I not cry? The logic is not logic right there, bro. Like, bro, what?
I will try not to cry in front of anybody. There's compulsion for me to cry at times, and I will not do it in front of people. I saw my father cry one time, and it was at his father's funeral.
So you think if man shows his emotion makes him a less man?
No. I just think men shouldn't do it. I know when emotions happen to me, and I refrain from exposing that emotion in front of people. You say you had men cry in front of you. That's why you're not with them.
Sometimes I look up videos of like army dads.
We need to just be straight. It is mentally ill to believe it's normal to not cry in front of your wife, but it's normal to cry on the internet. Sorry.
Like they both just said, man, they didn't do it because, they didn't do it because of that. They did it because he's been a hypocrite. He's literally been a hypocrite. So, man, do with that as you will, man. Because that just Officer Tatum just pretty much being stupid. It being dumb, bro. Like Abba said, man, trying to trigger people emotionally to get his point across. You just admit, okay, yeah. He should just admit it, but no, he don't want to admit it. So, let the idiot wrong. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that means, but when they're wrong, I guess. But that's it for today, man. Sport DJ7, man. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.